heard people coming, but nowhere else to go. That's Jane. She's worked here for years. Says she's saving up for travelling, but in truth, she's just as trapped as the rest of us. Her sister comes by sometimes too. In fact, she should be here any minute. She comes by after work till Jay finishes her shift. This place really is a forgotten corner, but it's strange. Nobody leaves it quite the same as when they came in. Anyway, I'll be your guide for the evening. Got nowhere else to be.
Hi there. Have you been to the fig tree before?
Hi. No. Have you?
Yes.
Great.
Thank you. Do you know how the menu works?
Oh, it's a menu, it's food, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's a little different. You've got little boxes and you just put a tick in the box that you want to get, so there's a pen.
Buddy?
Esther,
Yeah.
waitress.
Yeah. I was just explaining how the menu works. Have you been here before?
Yeah, right, no. How they work.
Well, can I get you some nibbles or drinks?
I'll have a double water.
I'll bring over a jug.
Well, that was awkward, weren't it? Esther never picks the bright ones. Although, not much worse than the guy she bought last week. Guy would not shut up about trains. Love's a funny thing. We spend our whole lives searching for it. Some people find theirs early, but I think Esther might be looking a little while longer.
So,
So,
you don't look like your photo, do you?
no? Well, it was a while ago. I found candlelight really sharpens up my jawline. It was my birthday, I'm not part of a sect or anything.
Right.
Your water, guys.
Thank you very much, waitress. Miss waitress. What's your name?
Jay.
Thanks.
Jay. Oh, Jody, sit down there. Hello, sir. Have you been to the fig tree before? Oh, I'll take that umbrella for you.
Yes, please.
If you want to sit down here for me, I'll come back over shortly and explain the menu to you.
No way! Is it her? She must be. But she's saying a lot. I met this girl a few years ago when I was at uni. I think she's 4 years younger than me. But yeah, we studied at the same university. She studied history. Esther. I know it sounds stupid, but as soon as I met Esther, I knew she was a girl for me. I fell in love with her as soon as we started talking. And the funny thing is that she loved me too. I'm an ugly, fat, bald asshole, but she still loved me. But I denied that love because she's a Catholic and I'm not a here. No, I denied love because I'm a moron. She was not beautiful according to the canons of society. Okay, let's say she was fat. Okay? I said it. Happy now? Don't judge me. Yeah. This is how I screwed up my life. Denying my true love, the one that to make me happy forever, and choosing instead to have sex with him and I don't really like. And this way I don't have to commit myself. I'm free and happy. I don't have to love. What the fuck do I know about love anyway? The only thing I know about love is this old story a rabbi told me once. I don't actually have a rabbi. Okay, I don't really know a rabbi. I saw a video on YouTube about this rabbi telling me a story. Anyway, the story is, once upon a time, there was a young man eating a fish. An old man saw him and asked him, "Why are you eating this fish?" "Because I love fish," replied the puzzled young man. So the old man smiled at him and said, "You love fish, so you take it from the sea, you kill it, you cook it, and finally you eat it. I don't think you love fish, you love the taste of it." And then he laughed. So what is the moral of this story? Is it that the old man should mind his own business and let the young man eat in peace? The moral is that most of the boys or girls you think you love, it was just a fish love, a selfish love. Something like that, I'm not really sure. I like this story. It makes me feel less guilty somehow. Sometimes I like to know how to build a time machine and go back in the past and stop the young me from being such a dick. But I mean, I guess I have to kill Hitler first. But after that. But the thing is, I don't know how to build a time machine, so there's nothing else I can do, I guess. Well, what the fuck do I know anyway?
My mum told me if I was born a girl, she would have called me Estelle. That's quite similar to Esther, isn't it?
Yeah. I'd like a daughter called Estelle. I mean, ideally she'd be called Esther, but then we'd both be called Esther and I wouldn't know who was who.
What if you had a boy?
Probably Benedict.
I like Benedict, like Cumberbatch.
No, eggs. Sorry. It's funny because it's a conversation every group of female friends have at least once over their teenage years. Baby names. I want 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl, they'd always say. That way, their brothers could play with their sister when they were young. When they were older, they'd protect her. Anyway, the response was always followed by immediate nod to the head and the words,
Oh my god. Really?
for the rest of my friends. I just never knew I'd be facing the reality of it so soon. 2 months ago today, I found out I was pregnant. It all started when I went down to the clinic to get some blood checks and a form after I last had my period. Fast forwarding an hour, I remember sitting in the chair as the nurse walked in with my tests in her hands. She pulled up a stool and sat down next to me, and then she gave me the news I feared the most.
Are you sure?
I remember asking in shock, to which she explained how she tested it 3 times. Looking back, I was careless, stupid. 16-year-old me had an 18-year-old boyfriend, so I thought I was going to be fine. I wasn't. Moving forwards, I didn't know what to do. My boyfriend left to go to Italy. I knew it wasn't an appropriate over-the-phone conversation to be had, so I had no choice but to just gather the leaflets the clinic gave me and hide them in the car. Over the next few weeks, I spent hours looking in the mirror, practicing the phrases I would say to him. And then the time came. I sat on his bed and calmly explained the situation to him. He definitely wasn't expecting that. And then I looked at him, just waiting for his reassurance.
Are you okay?
He asked me. But he didn't mean okay about the pregnancy. He meant the abortion.
Are you okay?
Yeah, sorry.
How was school?
Fine.
Revision going well?
Yeah.
Have you talked to Mum about...
I will once I know.
Okay.
So what's your favourite colour?
Yellow.
Yellow. Like the rising sun.
Oh, I heard, you know when you're cutting grass and you get that freshly mown grass smell? Well, apparently that smell is a distress signal to the other grass because it's in pain. But what I don't understand is, what's the other grass gonna do? Run away?
Wow, look at her. I wonder if she remembers me. Well, of course she does. No one forgets Constantin. You know what they say, when you go Constantin, you never go. Okay, I'm awesome, obviously she remembers me. I should go talk to her. I definitely should go talk to her. What can I say to her? Hello? Is it me you're looking for? I can focus, Constantine, focus. I mean, it's been a long time since the last time we met. And we established I haven't been extremely nice to her. She might be angry with me. But I mean, she's an adult, she could forgive me. I mean, I can just go and say hello to her. I'm still an old friend of her, I guess. She seems so happy with that dude. So tall and skinny and full of muscles. She could just moved on. I should do the same. I could leave right now. I mean, she didn't saw me, so if I leave right now, she'll never know I was here. And she'll go on with her life and I with mine. Oh, but I mean, he could be a friend or brother or... Okay. Calm down and think what can possibly happen if I don't talk to her.
And then I said to him, that's not a wood pigeon.
Esther?
Sorry, who?
She wasn't Esther. Let's try again.
Then I said to him, that's not a wood pigeon.
Esther?
Constantin. Hi. This is my husband.
Oh, hi. Buddy, good to meet you. It's the babysitter.
Oh, right, I think we're going to have to go, but it's nice to see you again.
This is my worst nightmare. She forgave me, but she moved on. And she found someone that makes her happy. Maybe one day I'll be able to do the same.
And then I said to him, that's not a wood pigeon.
Esther?
Constantin.
It was with the best scenario for me. But I mean, I think it's also the less likely to happen.
And then I said to him, no, darling, no, that is not a wood pigeon at all.
Esther?
Constantin.
Constantine. Hold on, this is Constantine. Constantine, the not so great. Where do you come from? Mordor?
Well, maybe he's got a point. Well, that topic kind of saved the whole universe, so fuck him.
And then I said to him, that's not a wood pigeon.
Esther?
Constantin. Oh my god. You've got some fucking nerve. You thought you'd just walk over here and tap me on the shoulder and I'd fall in love with you again. Are you crazy? It took me months to get over you, just expecting you to come back. Who just walks away without a word? You didn't answer my calls, my texts. I didn't know if you were alive. No, I'm not being dramatic. You could have been dead and I wouldn't have known any different. I just walk over here and smile like everything's fine. Who leaves a person on their birthday? You know what? You leaving me was the best thing that could have happened to me.
No. This is my worst nightmare. She's still mad with me. And she has every reason. The truth fucking hurts.
Is it just me or did everyone else see that? Like, he thinks he's acting it out in his head, but he was just walking back and forth. Sometimes it is easier to leave things unsaid, to move on. It's easier when you can believe the person you love is happy without you, when they're living their lives and laughing. It's so much harder when you have to leave them behind.
Sorry, am I boring you?
Sorry?
It's a bit rude, the phone at the table and everything.
I can see you're getting cloudy. Take a breath, it helps to defog.
Defog.
Can't drive straight if your windscreen's foggy. Take a moment, I can wait.
I don't drive, I took the bus.
I get these feelings about people. You're kind of blue, and I'm more yellowy orange. Of course, I want to be more yellow, but I feel like you're not even trying, you know?
Gonna get a drink.
Oh.
That's a rule. I think we should all stop looking down at our phones and start looking up. The worst moments of my life have involved phone calls. The first came when I was 19. I was on the England youth squad. I'd only been there a couple of weeks and I hadn't quite fit in with the other lads at that point. I still needed to prove myself. It was during our first training match. And I remember running, sprinting toward the goal. I had plays at my ankles, my heart was pounding. It was that rush. Like what surfers must get when they're riding out that wave. And there was an opening. Top right hand corner, left unguarded. But as I was running, I blacked out. I woke up in hospital. I had no idea what happened. I thought I must have been hit or something. But no. I'd had an arrhythmia. My heart was fucked. Been fucked for a while apparently, but I hadn't known. And that was it. My life was over at 19 years old. They put me on the first train home back to Manchester. Didn't know what to do at that point. I left school at 16, so I couldn't have done anything academic-like, but I still had my strength, so I learned to lay bricks. And it was alright. I could pay rent, feed myself, and even go to the pub on Friday. Me and the lads would kick a ball about, and I'd trash them. I mean, sometimes I did have to let them win, or they'd just get pissed. I used to dance as well. It was Steve who got me into it. None of the other lads liked him that much, but, well, I thought it was alright. I didn't want to go, but I felt sorry for him. And I didn't mind it. He always exercised, he got me up on a Saturday, and, well, he got to meet girls. That's how I met Hazel. We were doing a couples routine, and we were about the same level, so they put us together. We just, really got on. Went out for drinks that night. Well, by the next year, we were married. She wanted kids. I mean, I did too, but she really wanted them. I wanted a son. And when he was old enough, I'd take him outside and teach him how to kick a ball, and that boy would be good. He was going to play for England. He was going to have that dream that I couldn't have. We tried for ages. Felt like years. You can imagine how happy we were when we got them magic 2 lines. We were going to have a kid. But, well, 3 months down the line and she had a miscarriage. I was devastated. But she just grieved. Grieved for the child that she never knew. Hadn't even told anyone she was pregnant. We had to look like we were carrying on. I carried on laying bricks and she carried on waiting on. And though it was technically the same, it wasn't really. That thing we were looking forward to that gave us hope was never going to happen. She couldn't go through that again. We carried on like that for years. And we didn't want to admit it, but we were slowly drifting apart. And that was until she started to get ill. Really sick. We had saved up a bit of money at that point, so we went in for some experimental treatment. And apparently it added about 6 months onto her life. And it was so worth it. They were the best 6 months of our lives. I mean, she was dying and all, but we learned to enjoy life again. We didn't have any money, so we couldn't have gone travelling or anything, but we learned to enjoy the real things. Friends, family, the smell of food when you're cooking, being out in nature. We even started to draw. I don't know why drawing, but we'd go and we'd sit in the park and we'd draw birds and trees and shit. She was so much better than me. I mean, it wasn't really my thing, but it was something to do together. Like when we were dancing all those years ago. And I fell for that girl. Harder than I had the first time. She passed out. Didn't know what to do. Spent the rest of my years alone, whiling away my time towards a non-existence. And as I sit here, night after night, watching these scenes play out, I think back to that day, when I was running for that goal and my dream was just there in reach. But my branch snapped from under my feet and I fell. And I never got back up.
Jody, come sit over here. My shift's nearly over. You ready?
I'm not sure.
What do you mean you're not sure? I thought you'd made your decision.
I'm not sure, I mean, I've still got time.
And now's the perfect time. I've got the car, the time of work.
Oh, you got the time off work? That's what this is about, work. All you ever do is work. You're never there for me.
No, you know this is the right choice for you.
For you, more like.
Right. Let's say you have this kid. Your cheating boyfriend's not going to
And
stick
he's
around
going to be there for me if I make this
barely
decision.
there for you now.
He's there for me more than you are.
Right, that's not fair. You know why I'm working so much.
Why? So you can be alone, working in a stupid pub to fund for a stupid trip that's never actually going to happen. All you ever say is how much you want to get out. But then why don't you? It's not like you follow through on any of your amazing life choices.
You're just proving the point, Jody. You're too immature to look after yourself, let alone a kid.
Says who? You're just projecting your own fears on me. We're not the same person, Jay.
Thank God we're not.
I couldn't help overhearing. You're in a bit of a situation, huh?
Yeah.
I had a window in my last house that stuck. Wouldn't open when the weather was down. You know what I mean?
Not really, no.
Oh, okay. So I read this book a few years ago, and in it there was a girl and she had to make a decision. And she was in a field, I think, and there were all of these paths. And she didn't know which path to take because, no wait, they weren't paths, they were branches. And she didn't know which branch had the best future, so she didn't make any decision at all, and then all of her options were gone. I can't remember where the tree died or something. Anyway, that's like your decision, you know?
Is it? I'm sorry, I don't really understand what you mean.
I really thought that would help. Do you ever feel like you're reaching for something that you can't quite see? Fumbling around in the dark for something that's just out of reach? You know it must be there, or you think it must. You've been told your whole life that there's something there waiting for you in the dark. Waiting for you to reach out and grab it if only you're brave enough to step into the blackness.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I do get it.
Esther has a way of helping people through problems that, well, she doesn't understand. She speaks in her weird metaphors, but sometimes I think it helps just to know that someone cares. There's one thing I know is that kids are a blessing. But Jody's just a kid herself. Look at her, she's terrified. But she'll make the right decision for her. You have to trust what you know to be true. I think Descartes had it right. I doubt, therefore I think, therefore I am. Doubt is how you know you're alive. It doesn't give your decision any less value. Honestly, I have no idea if that's what the quote means. Hazel got really into philosophy before she died. And I think it helped her to know that I was into it too. She wanted me to get more existential about what life means. So I'd be less sad when she died. Grief doesn't quite work that way though. At least not for me.
Esther, are you coming back?
No. I'm just going to stay here.
Fine.
Date didn't go well then.
No, it didn't. Of course it didn't. Why would it? When I ever managed to be the kind of person people want to spend their time with? Never. No matter what my parents say, no matter how much they push me into going on these dates, no matter what I do, or what they say I need to do or be nice, be polite, keep the conversation going, don't be someone who just isn't there. The words come out of my mouth, in the eyes of everyone who hears them, I become nothing but these insubstantial words from an insubstantial person who can't be hurt by being ignored or disregarded, or so they think. They think, but they don't say it, so maybe to other people, and they finally get away, or in a joke about this nothingness boy who says so much with nothing to say. They keep his back so far ahead in front of them, so that's how they like it to be. You know he'd rather hear anyone else than the voice of this inhuman dullness, or he'd rather talk to silence than try to talk to me, I swear. It's true. How could there be a conscious mind inside the mind of someone so unconscious of what words to pick from all the words that could be said, when anything would do to free the conversation slowly freezing over between him and all the uninspired, uninterested people who's been trying so hard to be nice and polite and say what's right to? What I mean is, some people can just talk, and I don't mean they just talk. I mean, it doesn't matter what they're saying or talking about, it could be anything. But you could happily listen to them for days on end. But it's just English, it's just words, so why can't I do it? Why can't everyone do it? Yeah, sometimes I feel like everyone can except me. I'm either nothing, or I'm a funny guy. And if I wanted to be miserable, I could be a comedian, I know that. When people are in the habit of laughing at everything you say or do, they're not listening, really. Why would they? He's just a funny guy. The more he tries to get away from it, the funnier he is. He can stay silent and scowl and sulk, fold into himself as much as possible. If he's unhappy, that's funny, whoever he's with. So the joker is a joker, whatever pack you put it in, that's what it is. So, yes, I am finding dating quite difficult. And you don't have to talk to me if you don't want to.
Well, they're out then, as they say. Not sure word vomiting to a total stranger is really the best way to deal with your problems, but whatever floats your boat.
You're still here.
I really don't mind listening. Lots of people come through here with their problems and got nowhere else to be.
I really wish I could say the same. My cousin has a baby shower this afternoon, and if this date went well, then I'd have a good excuse to miss it, but it didn't. I really don't want to go, because I'm very vexed. Problem is, one day, sometime in the future, at least I hope it hasn't happened already, anyway, one day, I will potentially be a dad. I find that terrifying. It doesn't matter how old they are, I just don't seem to be very good with people, so I don't think I'll ever be good with children. I can't do the baby voice. You know, when a friend has a child, and the baby gets passed around the group, everyone has to think of something original to say, like a birthday card going around an office. And people talk to the baby in this patronising tone. If somebody talked to my child like that, I'd be offended. It's not just babies, it's children. If a child comes up to you with a picture they've done, when do you have to look at it and say, well done, this is fantastic? And when you're allowed to say, listen, the house is in completely the wrong orientation relative to the sun, the grass on the lawn here is frankly offensively long, and fundamentally, it's a sunny day, and the family are apparently outside in the garden, standing in a line, like they're part of some kind of protest. Why, oh why, is there still smoke coming out of the chimney? Riddle me that one, buttercup. That's me trying to be funny again. I'll never learn. I think I need to stop thinking.
I mean, I get it. Kids are terrifying and families are tough, but I think you'll know when you know.
What if I never know?
My little sister's pregnant. She She's not old enough to drink or vote. She's not old enough to drive, but she's determined she can make this decision by herself. I'm just trying to help her, but she can't see that. The truth is, she can't possibly have this kid. She's got the most amazing brain. Mum even sent her to private school. She's going places I can only dream of going, but she's going to throw that all away for some guy in a collection of cells.
That's a mistake.
Honestly? She can't possibly have this kid. And if she did have it, it'd be me that ended up looking after it. That's the way it's always been. Even when we were kids, I'd look after her and protect her from the things that were going on around us. My mum didn't have it easy growing up. Her and my uncles went through hell in their adolescence. I won't bore you with the ins and outs, but things started to look up for her when she went to uni. In the holidays, no one was around, so she knocked on the door of her resident tutor and asked, "Do you want to go to the cinema or bowling or somewhere?" And that's how my mum and dad began dating. They were together for over 20 years, 18 years of marriage. They didn't want kids at first, but decided to have me. My mum had a number of jobs across several industries. She travelled to all corners of the globe for her careers. Her experience in the fashion industry sadly did not rub off on me, but when I was born she decided to give up work and spent her days doing charity work and playing sports, where she met lots of people, one of whom was Richard. Richard and my mother played sport together and quickly became good friends. On a family holiday, my mum recalls missing Richard, texting him, etc. Later that summer, my father confronted my mother and asked if she was having an affair. I don't know what the truth is, and I don't think I want to know. But my father gave my mother an ultimatum to either end her friendship or end their marriage. And she chose to end their marriage. I remember every shouting match, every argument, every snide comment at the dinner table, and every time my parents telling me to take Jody upstairs or outside or for us to go to bed. Well, my mum and Richard did end up getting together. He left his wife for her. My dad met a woman only a few weeks later called Helen, and they were married less than a year after the divorce was finalised. My mum had custody of Jody and I when she got sick. My dad offered to take us for one extra night a week, what seemed like a goodwill gesture. But he, an established lawyer, knew that this would change the custody arrangements. My mother didn't realise this. Her treatment went as was to be expected. Though not a pleasant experience by any means, it was only made worse by my father and his new wife dragging her through the family courts. There were times where their daughters were put in the middle of their acrimonious legal battles. Pressures were put on me to look after Jody, to make sure she was okay. But no one ever asked if I was okay. Life went relatively smoothly for the few years after that. It wasn't until I was choosing where to go to sixth form that I became the antagonist to my mother's story. Because I wanted what I wanted. I wanted to go to a school that just happened to be in the town where my father lived. And I was steadfast in this decision. I had picked my metaphorical fig and I was determined to eat it. A series of miscommunications between my mother and I resulted in me thinking that she didn't want me, that she was forcing me out, that she wanted me to choose between her and my education. Well, I broke her heart. I left. I moved in with my dad. I didn't stay there for very long. No matter how stubborn I wanted to be, I couldn't leave with Jody. And that's when Richard started working away. He said it changed him, understandably of course, but My mum said he'd come home tired and couldn't give her the love and support she needed anymore. This year, my mother and her partner of 13 years decided to split. Richard has not only been a housemate, but a friend and father figure to me. A much better father figure than my own at times. I'm going to miss him a great deal. Once again, I'm in the position where it'll just be me, Mum and Jody, and if I were to leave, they'd be alone. So I won't leave. I can't leave. While our future beckons, we must recognise that we would not be the people we are without each other. Jody is my muse, quite literally. She's the reason I work hard, the reason I want to succeed in what I do. Her life is whatever she wants it to be, if only she's willing to take the risks. I just wish she saw herself the way that I see her.
I'm going to go.
Okay.
I think I ought to. She'll pay.
And there he goes. Always seems to happen this way. People Esther bring in here always seem to leave without her. And the people Jay opens up to never seem to really listen. It sounds sad, but it's not really. Not for them anyway. This place, the fig tree, this forgotten corner, gets us all at some point or another. Who knows if he'll be back. I've seen some of you here before. I'm sure I'll meet the rest of you in future. For now, it's just us. Three musketeers. Feel free to pop in if you need to. Chances are we'll still be here to welcome you in.
Do you ever feel like you're reaching for something that you can't quite see? Fumbling around in the dark for something that's just out of reach. You know it must be there, or you think it must. You've been told your whole life that there's something there waiting for you in the dark. Waiting for you to reach out and grab it if only you're brave enough to step into the blackness. I spent years afraid of the dark. Some people spend their whole lives with the lights on, curtains open, letting the sunlight stream in during the day, and keeping the comforting LEDs next to them at night. Nothing wrong with that, of course. God knows I'm not knocking that. Just wanted more, you know? So I went for it. I turned the lights off, and I opened the door, and I took a step. And I've been wandering around in the darkness ever since. I can see the glow in my peripheral, like walking across fields just outside of the city, but I don't want to turn back. I'm terrified, but I can't go back for